Well, good afternoon or good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another Travel Mole broadcast. Again, we're focusing on technology and the advances that technology has made during this global pandemic. We seem to have learnt 3 or 4 or 5 years worth of technology in about 3 months due to the pandemic. And many companies are doing very well and making big strides. One of those companies is TourConnect, and I'm delighted that with me today we have Michael Herrmann, who is the main man at TourConnect. Good afternoon, good evening in your case, Michael.
Thank you very much for having me, Graham. Really excited to chat with you.
No problem. Michael, tell me a little bit about your company. I know that one of the things that you're focusing on is the artificial intelligence and how that might be able to be used to speed up processes, perhaps save costs. Everybody seems to be in a labour crunch at the moment, particularly as far as skilled staff is concerned. Give me a little flavour of what your software offers.
Yeah, so as a quick little background, I started a little bicycle tour company down here in Sydney, Australia to get into the industry, and quickly realized how inefficient our processes were from a B2B perspective. So we started TourConnect to really make as many strides as we could to creating efficiency across the industry. So we started out with the contracting tool, focusing on kind of those back office processes between suppliers, being the hotels and tour operators, day tours, et cetera, and the buyers and the actual tour operators. Anything we can do to create efficiency. Well, over the years, as we've gained experience in this and learned about the different businesses and really started to understand kind of what you had mentioned a moment ago, where are people spending time and energy, where we can automate that. And as we've learned about that, we started adding new technologies to it using artificial intelligence, machine learning, natural language processing, things that we can do to essentially give you a little bit of a digital workforce to help your team process very mundane tasks much faster and more efficiently.
Okay, it's an interesting one. Perhaps you can give me a specific example. I know that you have a deployment of this software here at the AC Group in London. They use it on a number of their contracting, as you mentioned, hotels. What are the practical steps? How does it, what's the difference between the old way and your way?
Yeah, so let's start with the easiest example of our artificial intelligence tools, and that's Closeouts. So as we started talking with our clients, we started realizing they had teams of people that are manually processing hundreds of emails from their hotel partners that are opening and closing the property throughout the year. So on a typical day, they'd get about 300 of these. So a human's opening up a spreadsheet, reading the dates that it's open and closed. It could be a color, it could be a word, and then manually going into the booking system and closing those out, which just explaining it, you can tell it's a time-consuming process. What we've done is said, all right, well, why don't we use technology to read no matter what format it's in, a PDF or spreadsheet, you name it, and strip the information out of that so it's easier to comprehend first for the person doing the work, and then ultimately just click a button, have it automate into their booking system. So at present, we're still using an intelligent human being interpreting the data that we stripped out of it, but they're not doing all the manual processes around it of trying to figure out the information and then manually loading it. So that's a very directly impactful tool that can be implemented very quickly, that has a huge impact on the amount of workforce you need to be able to do that job.
Right. So that's one good example of using AI within that, if you like, that back office grind that people go through that in the past would have required a lot of perhaps tedious work and time-consuming work. What are you working on now? What's the latest that your software offers and would be potentially attractive to users?
Yeah, our next big piece is where our focus has previously been on the back office efficiency. Now, and that's going to cut your costs and save you money. Now, how can we generate intelligent revenue for you? So as we start touching bookings, which is our next big piece, we're going to be able to do things like take booking data and marry it with outside data. So that could be maybe a special offer for property, can then go in, we can look and apply it to any bookings that are already there. You might look at a special offer for a tour. We can go and look at all the bookings that are already existing that have time for that particular tour that can be slotted in and also take advantage of that offer. We could even do something like take the weather in Manchester. That might not be a good example because of the rain, but take the weather and marry it up to a family that's on an actual trip at the moment that don't have something booked and say, hey, we noticed it's raining today. Would you like a museum ticket today for something to do? So just taking external sources and putting them with your booking data so that you can intelligently and proactively generate additional sales with your existing customers.
Excellent. And the use of artificial intelligence, it sounds like something that requires a lot of greenbacks, a lot of dollars to put into it. I mean, you've got a lot of competitors in the artificial intelligence world. Is your unique is your USP basically marrying this standard technology, I presume it is now, that you can almost buy off the shelf, and marrying that to the travel conundrum?
Absolutely. And that's exactly what we're doing. We're taking our intimate knowledge of the tourism industry and applying these advanced technologies. And to your point, we actually are collaborating. We're helping companies make their AI tools and the likes better while we're applying them to the specific problems we're trying to solve for our industry. So yeah, our 10 plus years of experience in the industry, coupled with really great new technology, is really what's making the impact.
Now, Tour Connect in itself, does that interface with other applications that are travel relevant?
Yeah, great question. Our biggest integration would be booking systems. For example, one of our biggest partners is Tour Plan. We integrate to their booking system for the Closeouts tool. Also, our core contracting tool does as well. So anything we can do to help, most travel agents and tour operators are living in their booking system, and anything we can do to help make those booking systems even more efficient, we're here to help.
Excellent. Well, it sounds very, very interesting. And I would imagine an exciting period coming up over the next 12 to 18 months as people emerge out of lockdown and are looking for some labour and cost savings, because, as I said, a labour crunch and also a cost crunch, given the 18 months we've had in the travel industry. So, Michael, thank you very much for your time. I know it's getting a bit late in Sydney, so I'll let you go off to bed. And thank you for your time.
Yeah, thanks so much. Thank you so much. And one last thing I'll leave you with, because of the labor crunch right now, we're happy to do trials for companies to learn how this can work and be ready for when their team starts to grow. So happy to do that. Any way we can help our industry survive this time and thrive soon is anything we can do to help.
And the best way to get hold of you through your website, Tour Connect?
tourconnect.com, or our AI site, tourconnect.ai.
Marvelous. Thanks very much, Michael.
Thanks, Graham.
Cheers.